Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Hakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, great millstone, rule, web, and great example to his younger brothers in the truth, and peace and blessing to the hopeful elect. And Lord willing, this edifying lesson, this from the brother Arrow of Indignation, 144 page. And he got a lesson pulled up, but he got the disclaimer, copyright disclaimer act up, and it's the same for me. I'm not getting monetary gain from this listen or this video. It's all for educational purposes only, you know. But Lord willing, this edifying, and we're gonna get into it. If I ain't saying, and I said it, but Lord willing, this edifying, let's get into it.
Hurricane Erin. Okay, I am in Florida. I am literally 3 blocks from the beach in Jacksonville. I can see the tops of the palm trees at the beach. That's how close I live. I'm at work right now. That's how close I am to the ocean in Jacksonville. So hurricanes are obviously something that I track every single summer and I pay close attention to. I knew back when I first read Project 2025 back in the summer that the National Weather Service and the Hurricane Preparedness Center, whatever, the Hurricane Center, were going to be gutted and dismantled, right? They want to privatize weather. And I think there's more to it. I have my theories about why they want people to be unprepared for storms, so that then they have destroyed houses that then they have to leave, and now there's vacant properties. But that's a conspiracy theory for another day. Here's my
Yeah,
issue with the
and the main reason they doing what they doing is because the devil is coming down having great wrath. Revelation 12:12. Because he knoweth that he have but a short time, and I ain't gonna get it, so I just quoted it. And that's why these things happening. That Georgia Guidestone, the commandments of the elite. The New World Order, and one of the commandments, the first one on one of those stones was reduce population to 100. I mean, damn, 500 million, a perfect balance with nature. So that was one of those commandments on those stones. What the name of those stones called? Damn, I just said it. Fuck, that's crazy how that happened. Cause I just said the name of the stone. But whatever it's called, I just said it, and I forgot what I said. Damn, what the name? Let me try to see if I can. Damn, what's the name of those stones called? That's pissing me off. Well, I think of it. That's crazy. Georgia Guidestone. That's what it's called. I see Georgia. I was finna say I gotta figure out what the name of that stone was called. But the Georgia Guidestone, I think, was like three big stones with a whole bunch of different commandments of the elite. And one of the commandments on the top of one of those stones was reduce the population to 500 million, a perfect balance with nature. And that's one of the reasons why they doing the things they doing. I don't know if they told y'all or not, you fucking Americans, you proud as Americans. But these elites have no plans on you Americans being a part of the New World Order. They plan on destroying most of the American citizens. Why? Because of that patriot spirit, the proud, rebellious Americans. You know, only a few. They only have plans for a few Americans to make it into their New World Order. You know, and Deborah Tavares, she going to reports on it. Different research looking into how they want to basically destroy the majority of the American citizens. You know,
reporting on Erin. The track, I see all these meteorologists on my page. Obviously, I'm following Aaron content, so I'm getting these meteorologists on our page, and they're like so adamant that like, no, the model, nothing has changed, nothing has changed, everything is fine. Like he did, like we know that there was, I don't know, tens of thousands of people fired from NOAA, all the different various sources for weather. Thousands and thousands of people were fired. I know there's gutting to budgets of these systems and these organizations, these satellites, these radars. Those things were gutted. And the problem that I have is that I have meteorologists tell me that we can trust the data, and that is fundamentally untrue. We cannot trust the data because we don't know the extent of the damage that he did within these organizations. The problem with what he does and the way he does things is that we can't even pay attention and track what he is doing to figure out where the damage is and where the issues are that we even need to pay attention to. All we know is that he stuck his hand inside our weather reporting systems and just did this to it and it's like shredded it all up, and we don't know what was left. Like if we are left with like one guy on a night shift when it used to be a whole team of people, we have radars that are going down for long term for maintenance because they don't have the funding or the people to fix things. If we have like models take, I don't even know, hundreds of millions of pieces of data that get input into models to try to predict where these storms are going to go. If a fraction of those things are no longer available, the models are no longer reliable. I've seen people saying they're going back to the science of like the 1990s. Like it's equivalent of tracking storms 20, 30 years ago, which is insane considering we have so much technology, so much has been invested in weather technology, and they clearly don't want people to know where the storms are going to be. In Florida, they have gutted the disaster preparedness over the past few years. Florida is the breeding ground, a testing ground of all this stuff that he's doing nationally. They've been gutting it here for a long time. That's why you're seeing the preparedness and the recovery for these big storms the last few years has been disastrous. That is by intention. That is by intention. And people can't even afford homeowners insurance because it's so bad here. We have lost the majority of our homeowners insurance companies. They have pulled out of this state because it is so hard to insure homes here because the storms and the preparedness are so bad. We have sewage systems that don't drain. We have built neighborhoods in places that are supposed to absorb floodwaters. We have just gutted not done anything to improve infrastructure, and then destroyed the infrastructure that was there that would protect the people from the impacts of these storms. Okay? Where you cannot insure your home with only one or two insurances left in the state, and they can charge whatever they want, and it is exorbitant.
So like I'm gonna get a couple precepts before she get too far, cause I ain't watch all this. Because she going into how Trump basically, Elon Musk, Trump, they gutted out the so-called weather system, so they can't really track the storms like they was tracking them the last couple of years, where they could give you very accurate predictions on where these storms going. Now since they done gutted it and they shut down that national, however you say it, what that weather thing that track these hurricanes, meaning they really don't know. So like, let me get this before I forget it. Let me search the scripture. I'm on the tablet. That's why. Yeah, so they can't track these storms like they once was. But let's get a few precepts, because at the end of the day, we know that these different nations, these different top nations, these empires, global empires, such as America, I'm pretty sure China, I'm pretty sure Russia, and other of these certain top military countries, first world countries, have what you call HARP in this different weather technology. That's a different form of warfare that they're using throughout the earth now. So they can, manipulate the weather, shoot off these different frequencies from these satellites and stuff, and intensify different storms and Cause we know they doing stuff like that. And if these say China ain't doing it, we know these Americans doing it. The so-called white man, we know he playing with that kind of technology. You know, and all these if China got it, if America got it, China got it. If China got it, Russia, I'm pretty sure Russia got it. Different technologies where they can cause earthquakes and shit like that. Which at the end of the day, the Lord gave them the technology to do these things, and the Lord is the one handling it. The Lord is moving their minds to do so when they play with the weather, when they send storms and create storms and hurricanes and floods and earthquakes and different things of that nature, that they able to perform these different miracles on the left hand side. And it's the Lord lifting them up into that God status, them that proud. I mean that pride, raising up pride within them like he did to Pharaoh. But this, let's get this real quick. Isaiah 29:6. It say, "Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and earthquake and great noise, and with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire." Yeah, just like these wildfires and shit, they able to send down direct energy beams and spark up a fire in the forest somewhere, near a town and burn the whole goddamn city, the neighborhood down, the town down, you know. And we know Esau playing with that technology, but at the end of the day, it's the Lord doing, you know. The Lord is doing these things. The king heart is in the hands of the Lord. He controls it with whithersoever he will. So let's get this. This the book of Psalms. 17. Uh, this the book of Psalms, chapter 17 and verse 13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. So we need the Lord to deliver our soul from the wicked, which is his sword. Esau able to create storms and do all these things. He got the power of the earth in his hands. If the Lord don't come back and take this nigga down, ain't nobody gonna be able to take Esau down in the other nations, man. They got all this power, they got all this technology, they got all these military vehicles, and they got all this strength, you know. But ultimately, they have those things. Why? Because they the sword of the Lord. The Lord raised them up in this great power to look unstoppable, undefeatable. Why? So he can show his power. The same way he did Pharaoh. Matter of fact, let me get that. Let's get that. But the Lord gonna deliver us from the hands of the wicked, which is his sword. I think that's Romans 9. Yeah, and this ain't gonna be too long. It was on my spirit this morning. I was watching it. I was like, I'm gonna try to do a little quick lesson on it. What came to mind as I was listening to it. Okay, this the book of Romans, chapter 9. I'm gonna go straight to the point. Romans 9 and verse 17. It say, "For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might shew my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth." It say, "Therefore have he mercy on whom he have mercy, and he who and he and who he will he harden." So the Lord is damn. The Lord is lifting up Pharaoh, the modern day Pharaoh, going to the so called white man, in this great power. you know, so his pride can be through the roof, so he can feel undefeatable, unstoppable, prepared to fight against beings from another realm, so to speak, another planet. You know, Esau think they prepared for that, but they fucking not. But the Lord getting ready to do some terrible things to these people, and the Lord got them raised up in pride, so His name can be declared throughout all the earth, which His name is Yahweh, and His Son name is Yahweh Shai, and everybody gonna know the powers that's doing these things soon, you know, and these people know now, but they gonna soon the controller gonna get slapped out of Esau's hand. And he gonna be scared. He gonna be terrified. It's gonna get to a point where they ain't gonna be able to get on the news and lie. Like she was speaking about, oh, everything gonna be okay, all this old dumb shit. Nah. Everything ain't gonna be okay. Shit finna get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse until the Lord return. You know? I'm gonna get one more real quick. Speaking on Trump, America being given over because for you to I'm gonna get two more. For you to gut the goddamn you communicate to be able to track, for you to gut that, you can't be playing with a full deck. The gut to the weather communications to be able to track these different hurricanes that wreak havoc throughout America, the Gulf Coast and the East Coast all the time. You got to be a fool to gut that, man. So let's get this first. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6 and verse 24. It reads, but the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world. And a wise king is the upholding of his people. I think that was one of them. I think I had a different one though. Let me see. Uh, Wisdom of Solomon 6 and 24. Yeah, that's one of the ones. It say, but the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world, and that multitude of the wise going into the elect men who got this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. It's saying a wise king is the upholding of his people, meaning gonna take care of their people. You're gonna take care of those who are under you, your people, your citizens, so to speak. Because they make your kingdom spin, go around, so to speak. But the so-called white man don't give a damn about the people. Uh he don't care about his own people, nor do he care about the citizens of um his citizens, so to speak, of his domain. You know, it's all about him. But that's what the scripture was speaking about in Isaiah 19:4. Egypt being America, will he give over into the hands of a cruel Lord? And Trump moving like a madman in this second term. He ain't even been in there for a year and he tearing shit up. This the book of Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 1. It say, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, going into the chariot, so-called UFOs. It say, it shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt, and it's speaking about America, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the hearts of the Egyptians shall melt in the midst of it, because they're gonna be terrified. And I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and and Salakia, and they shall seek to the idols and the charmers and them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hands of a cruel lord. A fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord Yahweh, and the Lord of hosts. I mean, saith the Lord of hosts. So the Lord set Trump up being that cruel Lord of, hey man, we don't see another president coming in. This gotta be this gotta be it, man. This gotta be the end of this wicked ass place. We can't. Look, hey man, we ain't gonna have. The Lord ain't gonna have much to say. If we go another 10 years here. Another president. This nigga freakier than Biden and Trump. And Obama. God damn. You know, damn woman or some shit like that. You know, we gotta get the fuck up out of here. YNs having kids and you know everybody off. Hey man, this place is through. This place is polluted in the vats overflow. The sins of this man is reached into the clouds. And the Lord is finna visit this nigga, man, and return and deliver his elect and bring him out of power.
Let me tell you, I am on the board of a preschool. They literally took our insurance from, I think it was $3,000 a year to like $21,000 a year for a tiny little cottage preschool for just insurance.
Yeah, and it's oppression. And they go to show you that the dollar is crashing. You know, America is done. From $3,000 to $21,000, this place is through, man. For a preschool, this let me get this proverb. Because hey, man, this go to show you that the righteous not in authority. This the book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 2. It say, when the righteous are in the authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. So this going to show you that the righteous not in authority because the people are mourning. She talking about hurricanes had to complain about fucking insurance. But she was talking about insurance, I'm guessing for hurricane damage, storm damage, shit like that. I just had another precept I was thinking about what it said. Damn.
Just homeowners insurance. Insane. Insane. So let me get back to the storm. The thing that is the hardest part is that even if the data was great, we don't know what data we can trust. I don't know what to trust. I don't think the data is as complete and is as helpful as it would have been last year, last storm season. And even back then, I get it. Weather is crazy. Weather is unpredictable. But at least I could trust they were using all the best resources they could find and they had the intention of helping the people. I don't feel like that now. I don't trust it. And I don't trust the meteorologist saying, trust it. It's giving people saying free and fair. It's not, you can't be blind to it. You have to tell people we're doing the best we can, but we're missing this information. You have to be honest about the fact that you are missing data. You have incomplete data. You used to have more sources that are now no longer funded. They're no longer available. They're offline. They're down for maintenance. The offices are no longer staffed. You have to be honest about that kind of stuff because garbage in, garbage out, right? And I think that's what we're dealing with right now. And for them, it's giving Sharpie when they had that.
Let me grab this one. This the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 14 and verse 5. It reads, it say, he that is evil to himself, to whom shall he be good? Um, he shall not take pleasure in his goods. It say there is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is the recompense of his wickedness. You know, when Esau envy himself, man, that's why his people are suffering. And we don't give a fuck. Because, hey, this the beginning of, hey, the scriptures speak about better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. Because the hell that's going to come upon you by the hands of your own people is the beginning of your punishment, you know, that the Lord is going to put upon you for what y'all did to the Israelites, the Lord chosen people, you know.
Thing turned north. It's giving Sharpie. That's what Trump wanted. That storm's gonna turn north. So they drew it north. That who knows? Is that what he's put people in place that will lie for him? Why would they not lie about a trajectory of the storm? He's done it before. He's done it before. Why would he not put people in place that will now do it via models? Like, no, we're gonna put this model out because that's the one the president wants. I would not put any of that past him. That's how deranged he is. We've seen him do it. He's done it. They had the guy out there with the jobs report that did the exact same thing. I would not put it past him. So, as I look out at a dark and stormy, crazy sky over the beach, where I know there's a giant hurricane out there and we have no idea where it's going, I'm a little nervous. I mean, I think it's past where it's going to hit us, but if I was on the mid-Atlantic, East Coast, I would go back to whatever methods they used back in the day, because the spaghetti models are, and I don't know, the European models.
Let me get this. Verse 7, keep going in this Ecclesiastes 14 and verse 7. It say, and if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness. It say, the envious man hath a wicked eye, he turneth away his face and despise of men. You know, so hey man, this is Esau in a nutshell, you know. And he finna declare his wickedness upon you people. Oh, the white man ain't bad. Well, we finna see. And shit, if he ain't bad, we damn so finna see how good he is in the times coming, man. You know? Man, hey, you same motherfuckers hollering about he ain't bad, you finna get caught out though. Trusting your enemy.
They probably pull similar data. It's the thing. It's like, yeah, well, the European models match, but the European models have to be getting weather data from us because we're the ones that have the wind and the temperatures and it goes down to everything. Like, we have a river that comes out and it shows the current here. Like, all those little tiny minuscule little pieces of weather data all go into it. So they're all getting the same garbage inputs or lack thereof. So anyways, if you're in the path of the storm, like, just don't give up your land. If your house is destroyed, do not give up your land and sell it. Let somebody buy it and then build a condo there. Please, God, do what you can to stay on your land if something happens. I think they have ulterior motives, and that is getting people off their property is the ultimate goal.
Hey man, these folks got deeper ulterior motives than getting people off their property. If they want to take your property, they can seize it. They want people dead, man. They want blood. They want depopulation. You know?
And if anybody says weather isn't political, like, this is so deeply entrenched in politics.
Yeah, if it ain't political, why the fuck do they got something called climate lockdown? And what they say, climate change. We gotta fight climate change, and you know all these presidents come with different solutions on how they gonna fight climate change. And one of the ways to fight climate change is the gates of hell math equation on how to reduce the C to get net zero CO2 or some shit like that. You know, he had the little equation on the TED Talk, and what he said, one of the ways was the jabs. You know, will reduce. They'll do a good job with the jabs. They can basically reduce the population. You know,
It's not even funny. People's lives are literally at stake because of political decisions and people's unwillingness to see them as political moves that are intentionally putting people in danger, intentionally risking people's lives. That's what pisses me off about the freaking Helene. Everyone talking about Helene back then. It's like, you think this is bad? Just wait. Just wait till he gets his first hurricane. Just wait. Fucking Mama Tot.
whatever that means, you know. But it's finna get real out here, man. And that's pretty much the point, you know. I got what I was gonna get, you know. Through the Spirit, the Lord will live with edifying lesson. I want to end to giving all honor once again to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Hakodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders, of great millstone. Rule Web and the great example to his younger brothers in the truth. Peace and blessing to the hopeful elect. Shalom. Kwame Yashala and above. Shalom.